Hi there, welcome back to a new video. I am finally planning to make this weekly journal. I have been talking about this now since last year, the end of last year. I bought this book for £1 in my friend's house clearance store near where she lives. You can possibly see it's got the months on March through till Feb, and they're all kind of like embossed. It's a beautiful book. And I want to turn this into instead of a weekly journal, let's call it a monthly journal. I quite like the idea of that. So I'm going to remove some of the pages and we're going to put a bigger spine on, and it's going to be a really, really good journal for the 2025 March to 2026 Feb. So that's very exciting. I just realised that's my 50th year actually, isn't it? Because my birthday's in March. So I've pretty much got everything I need here. I've got the journal, I've got my binding kit. I've already chosen the thread to go on there. And I think I'm going to use this as my spine. And then I've got the papers to go inside. We'll go through all this in a bit, but this is basically everything I'm using. And then I've got my tape as well for what we're going to be using. So yeah, I think I'm good. I'll tell you what, the only thing I haven't got is the cardboard for the spine. Let me go and grab that. I'm actually going to use this box. This was sent to me with some happy mail in, so this will be absolutely perfect. Just check, yep, that is good. I've trimmed it down so it's the back. Now let's just grab a mat, and we are just going to do a little bit of surgery on this book. We need to remove the spine. I am in love with that. Isn't that cool? I want to try and keep as much of this as possible. Let's cut that down. It is so blowy outside today. You would not believe all the lovely weather we've been having lately. Oh, that didn't do so very well. It actually feels more like a winter's day today. I did not mean to remove that, I'll be totally honest. That was meant to stay in. Why is this not coming very well? Right, maybe I should have just done this. There we go. That would have been a lot better, and I would have still have this lovely piece intact. Don't worry, I'll be able to still use it. Right, let's take this one off. Like this. That is what I should have done in the first place. Silly old me. Right, so there we have our beautiful spine. The spine's not large enough, which is why we are trimming it, because I want it to bulk out. I want to add loads of beautiful pages, and this just isn't large enough. So we are going to make it large enough, which is why we've got the fabric. I'm not going to keep that, or should I? This is the problem when you are a crafty person. It's so hard to get rid of things. I do feel like I need to give this a little bit of a clean up. I don't have any wipes, I don't think. Let me go and have a little look and see what I can find. I've actually got a flannel with a little bit of soap on it. I'm just going to wipe it over. It's obviously cardboard, so it's not something you want to get really wet. But I really wanted to give it a clean. It's actually coming up so much brighter. Oh, that's actually done the trick. Wow. Because I want to keep the cover as it is. The cover is perfect. That's actually come up a lot better than I expected. You can really see the difference, can't you? Oh, I can here anyway. Let's do this one as well. You sometimes don't realise how grubby something is until you clean it, especially when it's not something that you've seen before. Obviously, I've never seen the book before until now, so I didn't know what colour it was supposed to be. But that is really coming up much nicer. I'm pleased I've given that a clean actually. And then it will just give it time to dry off while I sort the spine out. There. If you use baby wipes, that would have probably been much better, because it was a bit risky doing that onto board. but I don't have any, so I couldn't do that. But you know, with a baby wipe it's not going to be too wet. Let's just trim this off just so it's tidy. And yeah, let's work on the spine now. So we want, this needs to be the same size. You may well have seen me make these before. In fact, I only made one recently. This is a Disney one that I made with a beautiful spine and loads of charms, and this was in such bad condition it didn't even have a spine. My friend sent it me. She knew I would love it, and it was absolutely perfect. There's just something so nice about turning an old unloved book into something really beautiful that you're going to cherish for years. It's like you've given it a new lease of life. Right, how wide shall we make this one? I need it to be reasonably chunky. That was the original. Yeah, so we're kind of doubling it, aren't we? That sounds good. Well, we've got a whole year's worth of journaling to do in here. And somebody, oh, that wasn't very straight. Somebody once said that whatever you think you're going to need, go larger. So I always try to go by that now. I still don't think that it's that straight, actually. I don't think I've done a good job with that one. I'm struggling with that. You can even see it, can't you? Problem is, though, every time I try and correct it, I'm making it worse, aren't I? Maybe I should have just done the pencil line in the first place. I usually do it by eye and I'm fine. There we go. And yeah, that's still almost double, isn't it? So that's fine. Cool. So that is going to be our spine. Now I need to go and get some sticky tape. I am so bad. I've been chatting for ages and I hadn't hit record. I've just cut the fabric from here, from my 50p car boot sale, and I was just talking about where to find fabric, just like car boot sales, charity shops. I've bought eBay before, Amazon, but I was saying about having an open mind. You could use a shirt that you've got around the house that you're no longer wanting to keep, or have a look in charity shops for things like duvet sets as well. You can find some really good stuff. So try and be open-minded when it comes to fabric. Right, I was just saying I need to find, I forgot to find my trimmings. What am I going to put on the edges? So I am going to talk through my options with you. I've decided no, I don't want the pink. I do like this though, this is really nice. I seem to be going with a bit of a gardening theme here and I didn't really mean to. I do quite like that one. We've also got some green daisies here. I love this one. This was sent to me by my friend Alease. But it's not quite big enough, but I might keep it for a bow at the top. I am thinking, I've got this, which I really like, and I've even thought about adding this to it. I think that looks quite clean. I think I might go with that option. I think that's probably the nicest one, and maybe some pom-poms on the end. That would be quite nice, actually. Just found this pom-pom trim. It is the same colour. That would go so well. Right, I think decisions have been made. Let's tidy this away. I need to plug in my hot glue gun. I'm also going to be adding one of these little split pin fasteners. I get asked about these a lot. This is what I pop on the back of the journal to hold the charms, as you can see. And I get asked how it stays in. You basically make a hole and then you push this bit through and it opens either side. I'm actually going to do that today before I do the fabric so we can tidy it up. So we have got 9 centimeters across, so 4.5 is where we need our little hole. So this is my favorite little thing to make the journals with. It is a bookbinding kit and it's about £9 on Amazon. So I will leave the link to that below. This is the thing you need. It's so good. Then I can't actually put it through yet, can I? Because I need my fabric. I just realised that. Right, we'll need to do this in 2 stages. So let's use up this tape first. We are using red tape because it is super sturdy Everything that I use I will link up below. If I do miss anything off, please let me know. I try not to, but sometimes I forget to add an item or two, so let me know. I did use fabric glue before, but I just find it messy. This is just so much easier. So I'll leave the link, like I said, to this below as well. It's just clean and tidy. It's much easier. Let's pop that one there, and then we'll just do one more. I think I might need a new roll of tape for the next piece. Will I just make it? I might just make it actually. Yes, that was handy. And then we'll take these bits off, and then we can add our spine. Oh, I've gone a little bit wonky. I might just make that. I said, didn't I, about going slightly larger because it's often easier. And then let's pop this down. And we're on to the reverse. So let's have a look where I put that hole through. Here it is. Let's do that again. And then we will put our little fastener through. And this will then hold our charms. Oh, that doesn't want to go through. Let's try again. There. And then we will cover that up with the fabric. Excellent. So we will do exactly the same. Let's use up this little bit of fabric. Tape here, like that. Oh, that's actually worked out really well. And then on to the next one, and we will do, like I said, exactly the same. And then again, I am just going to remove this off, and I am going to pop this down. I'm just going to trim the top off there actually, so that it's about the same. Don't worry though too much about this piece in the middle, because it all gets covered up anyway and you end up not really seeing anything. But let's just pop that down to secure that. Oh, that's better. Right, so now we're just going to pull that tight. That's worked out beautifully. And that's nice and neat, that side as well. So there you can see that's where our charms will hang. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. It's a little bit sticky on the outside, but I will be adding ribbon anyway, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Let's grab the hot glue gun, and we are going to add this on the outside. I wonder how much have I got on here. No, I haven't got enough for both sides, so it is just going to need to be, like I said, let's just do a little bit more than what we need. And we're going to pop the glue gun, and this just hides anything that maybe doesn't look as tidy as you wish. So don't panic about edges or fraying or being completely straight and neat and tidy, because when you're a crafter, you are the master of covering things up. Doesn't that look so much neater now? That really does. And I still love the idea of this as well. Let's have a look though. How neat and tidy does that look? Do I love it? I'm not sure. I do like neat and tidy. What's your thoughts? With or without the daisies? I think I'm going to go with. I think it looks quite cute. Let's add those daisies. We're just going to pop them on the end here. They look quite pretty, don't they? There. Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I like it because they just hang off very slightly. And I am going to do exactly the same, which is quite good because this side is a little bit messier than the other one. So that's going to help us out. And we're just going to pop that on there just to tidy it up. And we're going to do exactly the same again with our little daisy trim. Those colours are so perfect, aren't they? They are so pretty and my favourite kind of colour combo. There we go, and again that is a perfect fit. Love that. And what I love about the glue gun is you have a slight bit of moment just to be able to wiggle things around if you need it, but it does dry quickly as well, which I really like. Let's just tidy those little ends in just to make sure that they are neat and tidy, and we're going to do the same here. But I do want something on the reverse here as well, but I haven't decided what. But I want something along there just to tidy it up. I haven't got enough of this one. I don't think I'm going to have enough daisies either, or will I? Not quite. I've got like this lace. It's like, you know, like a shoelace here. I'm going to go with that. That colour is perfect, and I didn't want anything too different. I just want something that looks tidy in this journal. So I'm going to use that and just trim off the edge, I think. I really like that. Let's just cut that at the top. Perfect. And again down there. And then I've got enough for the other side as well. Let's just pop a little bit in here. I think I might need another glue stick. Let's see if I can get away with that. I might just manage it. And let's do exactly the same here. Oh, that was hot that time. I like that. That looks nice and tidy. There, I'm pleased with that. I think that has turned out really, really well. I panicked then thinking, oh no, I've got it upside down, but I was just holding it upside down. Obviously from the inside, it makes no difference. And I also wanted to add some of this on the outside. So I'm going to take the hot glue gun again and just add some hot glue on the very, very edge. This kind of thing makes such a difference. And we're going to add our pom-pom string. This colour is such a perfect fit for this. This is going to be so cute. It's like it was made for this journal. I love that. I'm going to do exactly the same over here. And it's just amazing how something so simple, just adding a bit of pom-pom trim, how it just finishes off the journal. And it's also sort of like that transformation from turning it from an old book to a really fun journal as well. And I really like seeing the difference happen, the changes. Just trim the top of that one off. There. I love that. That is so much fun. Right, we need to move on to the pages now. The sun's disappeared. I've managed to clear the covers from my window, so it might be a bit brighter now. Right, we have the carcass of the book. Let's use this as a base. Can we? Oh, I love these pages. I would like to use some of the original pages in the journal, but it's finding the middles to see where they're sewn in to be able to get to them. So can we see any of the stitches? Surely they're not all glued in. Well, they look like stitches, don't they? Let's have a look. Some pages are easier to remove than others. These feel very secure and very tightly sewn in. Another one there? I think it is. There's another one there. I think they seem to be double stitched. I can get at it from there. Okay, so we have a double page. We need a few more of those. These ones in particular, these are really pretty, but they also seem to be glued in. Oh, maybe not. I've got another one. That's really handy. I might just go through and see. There's some more stitches. I'm just going to keep going through, I think, and seeing what I can pull out. Whatever I don't, this book will be kept and will be used very lovingly in other journals as well. Excellent. Yeah, another one. The sun's come back out again, hasn't it? I think I'm going to need to put my cover back up. Oh. Well, this one's a good one. Seems to be quite a lot of glue going on here though. Yeah, that's a different page. So the rest of that will go away for another day. We have got some decent ones here. I think I am going to make, can I make 3 again? Actually, thinking about it, that would be quite handy. March, April, May, 4, I think 3 lots of 4. I think that's what we're going to do. So we want 3, and these are going to be our rough sizes on here. And then I will show you what else I've got. I picked up a couple of exercise books, or quite a few actually. That's better. Quite a few of these, I think they're Korean exercise books. These are a good size, and I haven't used many of these yet. So let's find the centers here. Oh, I'm going to take up the staples so that we can do this neatly. That will be handy because I don't really want to tear them. I picked up these exercise books, brand new. This was from a previous car boot sale for 20p each. So I was super pleased with that. That's the thing, what doesn't mean anything to one person, to me, I was so excited. 2, 3. I'm going to take 3 of these. I'm going to, I think, do the pages almost equal. These are going to be a little bit on the tall side. So, well, I think I'm just going to trim them while I'm at it. The trimmings I will leave and pop in my junk journal because these could be quite handy in my little basket. It's a good size. We have also got these ones which are slightly different. So I'm going to do exactly the same. Oh, I've already done the staples here. I've only got 2 of this one. That can go. Oh, some of that actually could be used. I've got exactly the same. I would quite like to keep the journals the same. So I'm going to take 1 of these as well. Trim these, but they're actually slightly smaller. Oh, I've just realised I've only done the 2. That's why. Let's do 1 more. But what I was going to say was I'm happy for some to be smaller, but I don't want them to go any larger. Any larger, they won't fit in the journal. So I've got this one here. These are, oh, I thought they were all glued in. This was picked up from the house clearance store. I'm trying to find the centre here as well. Yes, some are easier than others. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was easier than I expected. I've just been tearing them out individually, and they are going to need to be trimmed slightly. I've also got an old maths book of mine, Lisa Davis. So I thought this would be really fun to include. Let's take these staples out. I rescued loads of stuff from our loft before we moved. and I wanted to include some things like this in future journals. This is well and truly in. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I wonder what year that was. No idea. And I love that some of my maths is actually on there. Oh, actually it's more than I realised. I think that is, I love a tally chart. I've always liked a tally chart. There we go. I think it's really cool actually having some of my maths work on there. Is that size? That size we'll just about get away with actually. I have found this, I found in amongst Holly's stuff. This is how grown up our daughter was always in her teens. She had a budget book. Actually, it might have been uni. She's always been so sensible. I tore out her pages that she had in here. I don't think there is, or maybe there is a centre. I might be wrong. I think I found it, and I think I've cut them all. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe not. I thought I'd done them all. They are so firmly in there. I've done it. Let's see if we can get 2 more out of there. I didn't expect that to happen. These are going to be slightly, yeah, let's just trim those down. You can see how anything goes in this type of journal. I also have this book. I've got an Alease book, and I've got some music paper, but actually I'm going to keep it at this and just include more pages from the actual journal. I'm really liking how this is going because I think we've actually got a decent amount in here. Let's have that. Yeah, thinking I might do that. And it might even be that I add a few more pages. I think this looks quite fun like this. Because obviously I'm not going to do huge amounts because I tend to do a lot of weekly. Let's put the maths book in like that. I'm really loving this. Feels quite special actually. There, so how many would we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That feels like a decent amount actually. And then I can always add extra bits and pieces if I want to. What do I need? No, I think that's going to be plenty. I'd rather have slightly under. I need to add a few flips and things like that than have way too much. I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. There we have it, our 3 signatures. Starting to get exciting now. We want to start thinking about adding our pages inside. I'm just going to cut this. This will be our template. Let me know if you've seen me do this before. I'd love to know, are you a repeat person coming to watch me make yet another journal? Do they get boring? Do you enjoy watching? Do you then go and make your own, or are you still thinking about it? Right, that's our template, but that's not going to help us out with anything at the moment. We need to fold it in half and add the sides to the center, and this just shows us then where our holes will be for when we actually start popping all the pages in, and this works so well. Okay, so you can kind of like see the lines there. Can you see that? We've got 3, so we've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, I've done that one really badly. Oh, don't you just hate a rubber that doesn't rub? Where's my rubbers? Oh, that one's a rubbish one as well. Who invented rubbers that don't actually rub out? You often find the ones on the end of the pencils the worst, aren't they? Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is just pop this in place. Like that. And then this is when we need our magic tool. Just go careful, it's so sharp. Make sure you've got something underneath. And is that in place? No, it's not. I'm so glad I checked, because otherwise the holes won't be in the right place. I haven't actually cut this very well at all. I might do that again, I think, just to be on the safe side. I think the problem is that's that side. I have got some extra fabric that side, so it needs to properly sit on the spine, because if I don't, it's still not completely correct. The holes are going to be out, and then you may as well just not bother with a template if it's not going to be correct. Let's try that again. I think I'm going to need to just trim a little bit more, just very slightly, because I really don't want the holes being wonky. Correct? Yeah, kind of. That's better than it was anyway. Let's do that again, because I wanted to try. I'm always one of these, if it hasn't turned out quite well, it's not the end of the world. But when there's one thing between having a little bit of a mishap than actually seeing that it's not correct and not correcting it whilst you had the opportunity. Whereas that I knew was going wrong. Right, I'm going to try again. If I can get it right, I would like to. But if I did it all wrong, I wouldn't end up throwing the lot in the bin and starting over again. Let's move that over very slightly. Does that make sense what I said? Okay. Yeah, I'm happier with that now. Let's pop the holes through. I'm glad I didn't just go for it before. Go careful with your fingers, and I always say it, if you are a younger person and you're making one of these, please make sure you've got a grown-up to help you. This is not something that a child should be doing without a grown-up present, because this thing is sharp and you need quite force to go through it. Like there. Yep. I said, didn't I? I've got my little finger in the way. Right, I'm going to have to go and put a plaster on that because I don't want to get blood on the fabric. That really stings. That didn't, you know, it's one of those that didn't hurt. It's just shock to start with, but then afterwards you really feel it. That's really stinging now. Yeah, I think, oh, I've got blood on there now. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. So I'm also going to do something. Where is it? This was something that I tried out last time. My friend Alease recommended doing this. I'll leave her channel down below. So we need to get our little signatures now. So we are going to pop them all together like so. The signatures are the pages that go inside. It's not you doing your name. That's just the name of the little pieces of paper, the little booklets that go inside. Now we are going to need our template again. Match that up and just make sure that these are in the spine. That's where our holes are going to go, and Alease recommends to punch it straight through into the book. Then that way you're not going through your fingers or your desk or anything else. Excellent. Yeah, that looks good. And now, whoops, we are going to sew our first ones in. Let's move this. And I am going for this lovely wax thread. This actually came with the binding kit, and I thought, let's just double check. I thought the colours would go really well, and I still agree. I think that is perfect. And we need about 2.5, which gives us plenty to play with. And in the bookbinding kit you also get some lovely chunky needles. I want the chunkier the better, because even with my glasses on I struggle to see. Actually, I think this one might be okay. Right, let's do the middle one first. Make sure as well that you've got your pages up the correct way. Nobody wants upside down pages in their journal. So we're going to pop that through, make sure you've got a decent amount. I'm going to be leaving mine to tie in the middle. And I like to do mine in stages, so I'll pop that through first and then through the book pages. I always used to try and do it in one go, and I just can't do that. It just does not work for me. So I find doing it like this now, it just works so much better for me. And then we'll pop that through there. And then back up the other side. I think when you make these, you kind of like change the way that you do them until you find a way that really suits you. Everyone does them slightly different. But yeah, you'll end up finding a way that you prefer, just as long as it's tidy and you're happy with how it looks. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that is really is pretty. I like that. And I will be adding a few charms on as well. Right, let's loop that under here. And I like to do a bow in the center of mine, pulling it nice and neat. I have had it before where I've used normal thread and it has come undone, so that's not ideal. Love that. Let's move on to the next one. I don't have any particular order. Oh, hold on, have I done these the right way? Oh, I have. I thought I'd done it upside down then. Oh, that wouldn't have been a happy mistake, would it? Right, let's do this one. Yeah, I don't actually have a particular order in which I want them to go. So if you do, if you've got some particular papers that you want in order, just double check before you do this. Let's pop these in place. Where's my other one? I can't remember where I bought these. I do remember where I bought these jumbo clips. Typo. You know, the stationery store. That's where I bought those from. Anyone else a sucker for stationery? Oh, actually, it might have even been Urban Outfitters in the sale, the online sale years ago. You know when you see something and you know you need it, but you don't know why? That's how I felt about those. I wasn't even making journals at the time. And now they get used so often, even for journaling, and I clip them in just to keep my page open. I use them loads. So it's funny sometimes how you're drawn to something, you don't know why, you don't know what you're going to use it for, and then years later it becomes one of the most used things that you need. It's like something is telling you that future you needs that. And sometimes you've just got to go with that instinct, haven't you? Right, I can see here that I've popped these not quite in the center, so I'm just going to move that over slightly. Let's punch through our holes, and then we're going to pop this in our journal. I'm excited about this one. I've been wanting to get this going for so long. I finished my weekly journal quite some time ago and I've been dying to get back into it, but I just haven't got round to doing this. And I knew what I needed to do, but sometimes you just need the perfect time to actually make that journal, and that hadn't happened. So I've got a couple of months now, April and May, to go back on, which I'm looking forward to doing. And I'll talk all about how I plan to use this journal in another video. I won't obviously do it all now. Probably be when I create my first page, actually. I'll probably chat about it then. I've already changed my mind slightly just since making it today, because it was going to be a weekly journal, and now I've decided, no, I think a monthly one might be fun. So yeah, I'm excited though. It feels nice to do something that's familiar, but changing it up slightly as well. I just want to check that that's nice and tidy. Yep. And the more that you do these as well, I know sometimes it seems daunting when you haven't done something like this before, but the more you do them, the quicker you get, the easier it becomes. A bit like anything though, isn't it, to be honest? Practice makes perfect, as they say. I am happy with that. And then we're going to move on to signature number 3. This feels like a nice, easy journal to make, actually. Let's do the same here. Let me know if you've ever bought a random something which you didn't need at the time, but you were drawn towards, and later on it ended up becoming one of your most prized possessions. I'd love to hear your stories. I'm sure you've done exactly the same as I have. There we go. Thread. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please do subscribe to my channel if you don't already. It really helps my channel out and I really appreciate it, and I love all your comments as well. It means so much. It's always lovely to hear from people. Okay, should I can't remember, do I unclip those already? Have I just done that earlier? I can't remember what I did before. My mind's just gone blank. I think so, because otherwise they're going to move, aren't they? Right, let's sew these last ones in. There we have it. Number 3 is now in. Let's take the clips off and let's check out this journal. Oh, I have made a mistake here. I've sewn this down too low. I am going to need to move this up a smidgen. Let's see if I can unstitch this. I am actually going to do this again. I'll be totally honest, it did slip down and I don't want one of my pages coming down lower than the actual book. So it will only take a minute to redo, and like I said, if it's something where it was completely done and I realised and it was really tricky, I would probably have just maybe trimmed the bottom, but it's something that's easy for me to fix. So I am going to do that right now. And here we have it, my finished journal. That looks super cute, doesn't it? I am so pleased with this. I really am. I think the pages look amazing. I didn't want anything really, really colourful with big illustrations in this one because I don't have a theme. It is going to be like a weekly stroke monthly journal. So it's just going to vary all the time. So I kind of need that to be neutral for that exact reason. So I'm really, really pleased with that. I do want to add some charms. I do often do this separately in a video, but I just want to get it all done because I'm really excited about this one. So now I'm just going to have my journal to one side, and I've got my little book ring. This will clip on there, and I'm just going to have a little look. I've got a really cute little mini journal. I'm going to go through all my fun bits and pieces and see what I can find that is kind of like relevant to a journal for me. So we're going to start off with the ring here, the book ring, and this is what we're going to attach things to. So I'm going to use the thread, but I don't want it being any longer than the book. I want them to hang quite low. So let's pop this on here, then we can gauge it quite well. I think that's best. So I am going to start tying bits and pieces on here, and I always like to just give credit to Leah from Thrifty Day because this is where I got the idea from. So let's start by adding my beads. Whoops, I should have popped these on a little tray. Let's just tie that one in place. So she's not going anywhere. There we go. Let's just trim that one off so she's nice and tidy, and then we can just start adding all the fun bits and pieces on. I've just been going through and just finding a few bits and pieces. Some bits I like to tie in place, other bits I like to hang loose. It all depends what they are, what I've found. I found a few bits that have been gifted to me. I'm not quite sure who from or where, but I've got quite a few nice bits and pieces. The beads here are from Alease and Nick. They sent me a little goodie pack recently. Real treasure. Tell you what the treasure was. The treasure wasn't just the beads. The treasure was then seeing the storage of how the beads are kept. That was a gift in itself. These are going to be so, so pretty. I love these. There we go. I haven't decided how many I'm going to do yet. The other thing you can do is tie a few little knots just to stop the beads from falling any lower, so they've got a little bit of movement, so they're not all completely in place. That's quite a fun thing to do as well. There we go. As you can see now, these can move a little bit, so I like to do that. That looks really fun. Let's add, oh, I found this as well, a little envelope which says I love you. I kind of want this one just to be bits and pieces that represent my life at the moment. I love sending happy mail at the moment. I've got the little bow. I'm quite girly. I love a bow, and I'm doing all like my favourite kind of colours. So that's where I'm going at the moment. I found this butterfly as well. That doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not like a butterfly type person, but I think that would be quite nice just hung. Actually, yeah, let's hang that there. And I think we will tie that up, and this one will be the last one for this particular one, and then I will add the next one because I don't want them to hang too low. I think that is spot on. There we go, just so you can see more clearly. And I've tied that last piece in a bow as well. I'll probably end up just adding a little bit of glue stick to it just so it holds in place. I'm actually going to add this mini journal as well. Look how cute. Each month my top tier Patreons receive a little happy mail package from me, and recently I sent them a little mini journal. I always write a little note, a postcard or something like that, a little personalized note, and I always like to send them something. So recently they received a mini journal, and I like to always wrap it up really cutely. So I'm going to tie that on because that's quite cute. A journal as a charm on a journal. There, that is sweet. Right, my next one, I have added a camera. Got one of the little beads from Alease and Nick, and I've got a half because I'm half a century this year, so I thought that would be quite fun. I am going to add another one. I want this to stand up actually so you can see it properly. That's, oh, is that gonna go? Pop that there, and that there. Is this gonna, yeah, I think we can do that. I had an idea as well for something else I want to do. I've got my hot glue gun back on. I'm also very aware because I don't want these bits. I want to be able to easily untie this and for things not to fall off. Let's tie it like that. And I'm going to add a couple more beads, and then I'm going to show you another fun item that I want to add. Have you ever made these charms before? And if not, are you intrigued to make one? They are very, very fun to do. I'm going to add these little glasses just because this year I have become so dependent on my glasses. I feel like I need them to see now, not just normal seeing but reading. I can't do anything. I can't use my phone without them. And I'm just really, really needing them now. So I'm going to add those. And we've got the little, another daisy there, because she's so pretty. And then I am going to grab something else. Right, I have found this. I found this popcorn from ages ago, and I made them into these hair grips. These were from my kits years ago. Taking that off. Aid and I love popcorn right now, so I think this needs to be attached on here. I've got a little drill, but I'm not going to use that. I think I might just see if I can glue that on. I'm just going to hold it in place. I might see if I can pop something on the back of it actually. I've probably got something. let's just put a bit more glue on there just so it looks a little bit prettier on the back. And I've got a tiny little flower on the back there just so that looks a little bit tidier. And then I've also got this, a pin. I can't remember, somebody sent it to me and I'm thinking I would really like to include that as well. So I'm not quite sure what the best way would be. I'm thinking let's pop it through here. That's quite fun. And then I'm thinking let's add some glue around the base. Pop the pin back on. And I have possibly added a pin. Let's wrap that round because we've got the glue on there. So that should stay in place neatly. I finished it. I have popped a ribbon on the top, that one that I really liked, and I have actually glue sticked it in place, which I'm really pleased with. I love all these charms. Honestly, you can add anything to a charm. Look how fun and pretty that is, and it's all got so much meaning to me personally this year. I just think it's really, and actually the butterfly, I'm trying to fly this year. I'm really trying to build on my confidence. So I actually think the butterfly has a lot of meaning actually. I'm really chuffed with this. It's so pretty. Let me spin it round and I'll give you a proper look. There, you can probably see much better that way, can't you? Little journal. It's just all got such cute little things. And it's all just turned out really, really nicely. I've got the cameras. And I like the flowers because this is the first year that I've ever done gardening and I love it. So as you can see, everything has a little bit of meaning to it. Love that. And the journal as well. So not just the charms, but the journal ready to be filled with loads and loads of special memories from March 1925 through to Feb 20, did I say 19? March 2025 to February 2026. There, I think this is really, really fun. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel like making something yourself and documenting your everyday as well. And I look forward to working in this with you. By the way, the idea is with the book ring, you can then, oh, I was going to say easily unclip it. Oh, it's coming. There we go. And then the idea is you can just take it off ready for when you want to journal. So there we go. I'm excited to start working in this. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care.